Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. This podcast found wherever you get your audio podcasts, YouTube for the video, and I was being brought to you by BetMGM. Okay, so the offer at BetMGM, $10 to win $150 on any event, or the $5 bet to win $100 if you bet on a side total or a touchdown on a game today in college football. If they score a touchdown, you win $100. Promo code JUICE100. Or $10, same bet, any event, win $150. Promo code JUICE150. BetMGM, new customers, JUICE100 or JUICE150 for the promo code for us here on a Saturday. Okay, lots to get to from a business standpoint, and then I'll get to picks. I don't love the card today. I'm going to tell you right now, I have 3 picks. I've got 2 units in play. I have leans on like 8 games, and I just can't get myself to bet it. So maybe I'll wake up and I'll add, but at the time of taping, I'm just not there yet in terms of, I can't, like Alabama, Mississippi State. I lean Mississippi State. Take the 17 points. Can I bet it? No. Bama in the first half, laying 10. Do I want to bet it? Yeah. Can I? No. Do I? Well, I'll just go through it later. It's just a bunch of picks I can get to later that I'll talk about. But first and foremost, a gigantic, and I mean a gigantic, thank you to you, the audience of the Daily Juice. I am blown away, and I am honored. I am humbled and incredibly thankful for what you guys did with the fundraiser for my sister-in-law's boyfriend, fiance. As I said, they don't go by those labels, but whatever you want to call them. They live together. They bought a condo together. They were going to start a family together. They don't need rings and labels. It's 2021, okay? And we went for 24 hours. It's still up, by the way, and it's going to be, the fundraiser is going to be up. In case you didn't listen yesterday, my sister-in-law's boyfriend has a very aggressive form of brain cancer. He's already had brain surgery to remove the tumor. He will have 2 years of chemotherapy, 2 years of radiation, and he has to wear a apparatus on his head for 18 hours a day. That apparatus is extremely expensive, but it literally will keep him alive and keep the cancer from coming back. That apparatus is going to be thousands of dollars a month, and that's why they need the money. You guys, in 24 hours, raised $20,000 at the time of taping. That is just, sure, I mean, it was also from my family in Boston, and the Pushing the Odds audience also was involved with this, but the fire that was lit on the fundraiser came from this audience. This is what started it. When I posted it to the Discord channel, I think we had like $800, $900. Like, that's it. And by the time I went on the air yesterday to be doing my radio show, we were at like, I don't know, 15,000, like 14,000. And that's all coming from you guys. So when I say thank you, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I am completely and totally, I don't know, at your service. Like, I don't know what else to say. It was, my wife's been on and off, has been crying on and off looking at the fundraiser, and my sister said, or my sister-in-law, my wife talked to her tonight, and she got off the phone, and she goes, "That's the first time I've heard Angela sound like Angela in a long time." She was so worried about how they were going to pay for that apparatus every single month, and this has taken an incredible burden off of their family and my family. And for that, I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, if you've not been involved with this and you'd like to get involved, we're trying to raise $50,000 for Daryl, my brother-in-law. I don't know, what do you call your sister-in-law's fiance? Like, what is that? I don't know. He's in our family. The link is underneath me here on YouTube. It's going to be there for a while. The guys at BettingPros just went ahead and put it as part of the static links that are underneath me here on YouTube. So if you're listening on on just the audio, you can go to YouTube, BettingPros YouTube channel, or go to my Twitter account at SportsTalkMatt and go to the top. It's a pinned tweet, and you'll see it, and you can go ahead and you can $1. Seriously, $1. I don't care. Like, don't feel like I don't have a lot of money. I would like to donate $2, $3. I don't. The amount of money doesn't matter. Just you being willing to help out a stranger because he's tied to me is really something that I'm incredibly honored and really thankful. So the fundraiser off to a great start. 24 hours, we've raised $20,000 for Daryl and Angela, and thank you so much. Okay, so we have 2 chats going today. The Discord bet chat will happen at 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, okay? So join me in the Discord channel for that, where we will pick a half a unit bet. We hit last week, right? I think we're 4-1. I forget. So much has happened this week. I apologize. I think we hit that last week. I'm pretty confident we did. So we're 4-1 with the Discord bet cashing. We're 4-2. I think maybe 4-2. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We'll do it again. We'll make another bet coming up here today. And then the Circa Million chat will happen at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific time for our Circa Million team. 2-2-1 last week. So let's get back at it again. Both my teams went 2-2-1 last week. So hopefully we can rebound. But 7-2-1 in the last 10 picks is pretty good. Okay, that's if we go 7-2-1 the rest of the way every 2 weeks, we're going to be doing really well. Okay, so a lot of people will tell you that they have won the Circa Million by being after like 5 or 6 weeks, they've been underwater, under 500, and still come back to win it. We get a lot of football to go, a lot of picks, so we are nowhere near out of it, and we're nowhere near having to struggle, or we'll get in rhythm here, and hopefully we'll come back with another big game, big card, and another big segment for us here. So that's where we're going here. Last night, 2-0, over for the Red Sox. Hits. Unfortunately, they lose. Kike Hernandez is the hottest hitter on the planet. That solo shot cashes the ticket for us, but unfortunately, that was a 2-run shot. Sox would have tied it. Unfortunately, it's a solo shot. 5-4, the win for the Astros. Same 2 teams go at it again today. I may be back involved again. I don't know yet. Okay, that may be an ad, and stay tuned on the Discord channel. I may have a baseball bet on both plays. Braves and the Dodgers, and Red Sox Astros. I may be involved on one side or the other, but I want to see who's pitching, late scratches. Like, it's kind of a funky thing to bet baseball right now in the postseason before the day of the game. I want to go right up to the game to make sure everyone's playing, no COVID concerns, everything else that may affect the team. So no baseball plays here on the team, but I may add a baseball play coming up in the Discord channel later on today. So stay tuned for that. So then we got the Syracuse plus 14. They almost won the game outright. I'm not sure why they kicked that field goal there, but okay, well, it doesn't matter. They covered the 14. That's all I care about. So Syracuse wins. So 2 half-unit bets there, the cash. So 2-0 day on Friday. So let's go into the weekend with something good. Good positive momentum into the weekend. So here I am with 2 units in play, 1 full unit, and 2 bets that I simply have to break up because I can't make up my mind and I'm not going full unit, all right? Let's just start with Ole Miss and Tennessee. I lean towards Tennessee minus 2.5. I also lean towards the over 82.5. 82.5, okay? But I'm not going to do it. Here's my theory. My theory is that in the first half, both these teams are going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And then at halftime, they're going to make adjustments. And when they make adjustments at halftime, I don't know if they get there. They might. I mean, it's possible. Alabama and Ole Miss played, and there was 116 points scored last year. I think Alabama and Ole Miss is a very interesting precursor for Tennessee, given what Josh Heupel's offense looks like now and what Ole Miss's offense looks like now. In college football right now, Tennessee, in the first half, has the number 4 scoring offense. This season, Tennessee is averaging 26.2 points per game. Over the last 3, they're averaging 32.3 points per game, and they scored 38 points last week in the first half. Ole Miss is averaging 21.8 points per game in the first half, 20.3 over the last 3, and 21 points last week in the first half, okay? The total is 41.5 in the first half for Ole Miss and Tennessee. If we're looking at an up-and-down game, just a back-and-forth game, it's going to happen right from the start. And I know we need 6 touchdowns, okay? We need 6 touchdowns, all the extra points. We need 42 points to be scored in the first half. If we're talking about Ole Miss scoring on every possession, or Tennessee scoring on every possession, how many possessions do we think they're going to get in each quarter? You would think they're going to get 3 possessions in each quarter, right? I think there's a chance that we get 50 or more points scored in the first half. I'm not going to play around with halftime. I'm not going to play around with the second half. I'm just going to bet the over in the first half for a half a unit. Ole Miss, Tennessee, over 41.5 for a half a unit here. Offense, offense, offense in the first half. Don't play around with the game. Not going to play around with the total. Not going to play around with the side. I can't make up my mind on this game at all. All right, so that's what we're going to jump in on. We're going to jump in on that. By the way, the don't bet a parlay. The first leg hit. Marshall hit. The football game's still going on. It's 10-7 Cal right now, so that probably would kill it, but I don't think Anaheim won. Anaheim had a late goalie change, and it really made me angry. I told you guys not to bet it because Gibson wasn't playing. Gibson got hurt in game 1, which was somewhat like, wait, what? That was why I was making the bet for Anaheim to play well. And let's see, the Ducks, they lost 2-1. Okay, that was a tough loss for them. So that killed the parlay. But I would have punted out of that game anyway, so I'm not even counting that parlay because I told you on the Discord channel, I said don't play it because that was really out of nowhere. Gibson came in and it just kind of stunk. And then, look, I'll count it if – I won't count it if Oregon covers. Oregon's up 10-7 right now. But if they don't cover, I will count it and say, okay, it's a loss. I don't bet them anyway, so it's all hypothetical anyway in terms of what we're doing here with the don't bet a parlay. Okay, couple things. And so first bet is Ole Miss, Tennessee, over 41.5 in the first half. What am I doing with the other half a unit? All right, other half a unit. Kentucky and Georgia. Man, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I have Kentucky at plus 22.5 up against Georgia. The team total for Kentucky is 11.5. 11.5 for the team total for Kentucky on the road at Georgia. Georgia's been smashing people, just smashing people. But here's the one interesting thing about what happened against the Auburn Tigers last week. Okay, I was on Arkansas against Georgia, lost. I was on Auburn against Georgia, lost. Now I'm coming back for a third time, only a half a unit this time, for Kentucky against Georgia. Against the Auburn Tigers, Auburn's offense had a bunch of drives die in the red zone or near the red zone. In the second half, they turned the ball over on downs from the 40-yard line of Georgia when they were down 17-3. They were catching 16.5 points, okay? They gotten 6 points out of that. A long field goal. They didn't go for it, but if they had converted on that 4th and 8 and then maybe gotten the ball into field goal range, maybe they get a field goal in 17-6. On their next possession, they gave up a touchdown to Georgia. It was 24-3, but then they scored a touchdown themselves, making it 24-10. So they're down only by 14 points, catching 16.5. Then a field goal by Georgia, making it 17-10. Auburn then punts the football back. That's when Georgia comes down and scores a touchdown, and it's 34-10. Auburn then punts back, and I'm missing one drive. Sorry. The other drive. It was 17-3 in the second quarter. Auburn got all the way down to the Georgia 7, went forward on 4th and goal, and didn't get it. Went forward on 4th and 3 and didn't get it. Turnover on downs. It was 17-3. They score a touchdown there at 17-10. So that's at least 13 points that Auburn left on the field against Georgia. And when you're talking 34-23, that's a cover. All right? That's covering 16.5 points. So maybe it's just some bad luck. Maybe we were on the right side and got some bad luck here, and that's why Auburn didn't cover that 16.5 points. So now we're getting 22.5 points, okay? 22.5 points. Kentucky has had some injuries on their defensive line, which I definitely think is a concern. But I don't know. I think this Kentucky team, and I've had people on my radio show say lay the points with Georgia. They're going to kill Kentucky. I've been dead wrong with this, okay? So you want to fade this bet. I don't blame you, okay? But at some point, somebody's going to give Georgia a run for their money and keep a game really close. And maybe say, well, Matt, that was Clemson in week 1. Yeah, kind of. I guess so. But this game is going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to whether or not Kentucky can keep themselves from getting blown off the ball like Arkansas did when they played. If they don't, we may punt out of this bet in the first half, okay? If it gets really ugly, this is a live bet that I may get into. I'll post it in the Discord channel. If we're watching Georgia run the ball down the throats of Kentucky, I'll punt out of it and say, okay, no. This is going to be a 28-point win. I want no part of it. But to start the game, I am going to put, kind of like what I did with Texas last week, I'm going to put a marker down. I'm going to take Kentucky at plus 22.5 and then look to live bet this game if I'm wrong, okay? So Kentucky, 22.5 plus 22.5 for a half a unit. Okay, so full half a unit on Ole Miss, Tennessee over 41.5. The other half unit goes to Kentucky plus 22.5. The only other play I like, okay, that I have bet, and I'm going over all these different games, and Purdue and Iowa. You guys know better, right? I'm not betting Iowa anymore. I've been dead wrong. I would have been wrong last week, right? I would have been dead wrong last week. So no, not taking that. Alabama, Mississippi State. By the way, I would take Mississippi State plus 17.5, but I'm not getting in front of Alabama. No way. Let's see. I would take TCU plus 13.5. Okay, I'm leaning TCU plus 13.5 on the road at Oklahoma. Freshman quarterback, good defense for TCU. Not great, but good enough to maybe confuse a freshman starter who hasn't started a game before, first ever started at home, if that's the way that Oklahoma goes, or if it's Rattler coming out, maybe he's all rattled and he throws picks and whatnot. I would take TCU plus 13.5, but then again, Oklahoma can score 60 on anybody. So I'm very concerned. The total of that game is 63.5, okay? Do I think TCU can hang? No. That concerns me. So can't bet it. I want to bet Iowa State at Kansas State, but Kansas State's been sneaky, catching 6.5 points at home. Can't do it. Don't want to be involved with it. So there's just so many games that I have leans on that I can't bet. Coastal Carolina. Next week, by the way, takes on Appalachian State. Cannot wait to bet that game. But I'm not going to bet that game now. I'm not betting it now. The last game of the night, I do have a one-unit play on. The last game of the night. If you're a West Coast person, you're going to love this. If you're East Coast, you're going to hate me. Hawaii at Nevada. Look, this is now time for Nevada to start to put some attention on their quarterback. If we're going to watch Carson Strong become a top 5 pick in the draft, which is very possible, the campaign kind of starts now, okay? Hawaii is a very interesting team who can force turnovers like crazy. They had 6 of them in their last game. Now, on the year, Nevada has turned the ball over a whopping 3 times, okay? They don't turn the football over. I don't think Hawaii can keep up here with Nevada on the road without turnovers. And I don't think Nevada is going to turn the football over. And I think Carson Strong's got an unbelievable deep ball. I think he's got some really good weapons to go vertically up and down the field here. And I don't think we're going to see much resistance from Hawaii. The scouts are out against New Mexico State. A week ago, he had a 377-yard, 6-touchdown day. So far, he's got 14 touchdown tosses to just 3 interceptions. And they've got guys coming back. Romeo Doubs is supposed to come back, their star wide receiver. But he has other weapons as well. I laid the 14 points here. I think Nevada's going to put one on. They got the country to themselves, like the West Coast country to themselves. And I think Carson Strong gets another Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week award. I think the Warriors are going to get absolutely trounced here on the road at Nevada. I'm laying the 14. Nevada, minus 14 against Hawaii. Last game of the night is the only game I'm betting with a full unit. 1 unit, Nevada, minus 14 against Hawaii. Okay? So I will talk to you guys in the Discord channel for both the Discord bet at 11 a.m. Eastern and the Circa Million conversation at 3 p.m. Eastern time. The link for the fundraiser for my sister-in-law's boyfriend is underneath me here on YouTube, or go to my Twitter account at SportsTalkMatt. It's a pinned tweet right at the top on my account. You'll see the link to get in. $1, any donations. We're trying to raise $50,000 in 24 hours. We already raised $20,000, so we're well on our way. So thank you so much to anybody and everyone who donated anything to that fundraiser. Kentucky plus 22.5, half a unit. Ole Miss over 41.5, half a unit. Nevada minus 14 at home against Hawaii, full unit. Baseball may be an ad. There may be other football plays. There may be official in-game bets going as well, but I don't love the slate in college football. I will talk to you later on today in the Discord channel. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.